out of the burning building carrying what he could. He pulled 3 children from the rubble like he said he would. The cameras came and caught the angle that the story needs. A hero in the wreckage with his hands and bloody knees. But nobody stayed to film what happened after dark. But when he sat alone beneath the freeway in the park and counted all the ones he could not carry through the fight, and felt the weight of every inch between the floor and higher. Chaos came before him and the chaos stayed behind. It moved like weather, permanent and independent of the mind. You cannot be the hero and the human at one time. The costume and the person of the act have been right. He walked through cities burning while the populations fled. He made decisions in a second worth the living and the dead. But in the silence of the aftermath, the cost was clear. The things you carry of the chaos follow everywhere you steer. The world keeps needing heroes, so the heroes keep returning to the collapsing buildings and the cities that keep burning. They tell you that the bravery is something you were born with. The bravery is terror with nowhere left to run with. He swallowed down the shaking hands before he walked back in. He swallowed down the voice that said this is where it ends begin. He did what needed doing in the only moment there. He called it nothing special, just the breathing of the air. Something in the chaos takes a piece of what you are and keeps it somewhere past the reach of ordinary star, of daylight and of comfort and the ordinary life, of coffee in the morning and the resting of the strife. The hero has a number that he doesn't tell anyone, the total of the moments that undid him one by one, a gallery of faces that he sees behind his eyes, a catalog of ordinary, extraordinary cries. The psychedelic spiral pulls the memory around. The swirling guitar carries what the words cannot be found. Inside the ordinary language of the ordinary day, the chaos has a music that will not just go away. It hums inside the marrow, it vibrates inside the chest. It rises at 3:30 when the body needs its rest, and walks him through the hallways of the places he has been, the burning and the breaking and the things he should not have seen, but chose to see because the choosing was the only thing between the living and the not of everyone. The morning brings to light into the coffee and the ordinary grace of breathing without knowing there is fire in the place. The hero is a concept that the world needs to survive. It makes the terror manageable, it makes the loss less live. Inside the chest of every heroes but had not the slightest clue.
He walked out of the burning building carrying what he could. He pulled 3 children from the rubble like he said he would. The cameras came and caught the angle that the story needs. A hero in the wreckage with his hands and bloody knees. But nobody stayed to film what happened after dark, when he sat alone beneath the freeway in the park, and counted all the ones he could not carry through the fire, and felt the weight of every inch between the floor and higher. Before him and the chaos stayed behind. It moved like weather, permanent and independent of the mind. You cannot be the hero and the human at one time. The costume and the person occupy a different rhyme. He walked through cities burning while the populations fled. He made decisions in a second worth the living and the dead. But in the silence of the aftermath, the cost was clear. The things you carry from the chaos follow everywhere you steer. Returning to the collapsing buildings and the cities that keep burning. They tell you that special, just the breathing of the air. But something in the chaos takes a piece of what you are, keeps it somewhere past the reach of ordinary star, of daylight and of comfort and the ordinary life, of coffee in the morning and the resting of the strife. The hero has a number that he doesn't tell anyone, a total of the moments that undid him one by one, a gallery of faces that he sees behind his eyes, a catalog of ordinate, extraordinary cries. The psychedelic spiral pulls the memory around. The swirling guitar carries what the words cannot be found. Inside the ordinary language of the ordinary day, the chaos has a music that will not just go away. It hums inside the marrow, it vibrates inside the chest. It rises at 3:30 when the body needs its rest, and walks him through the hallways of the places he has been, the burning and the breaking and the things he should not have seen, but chose to see because the choosing was the only thing between the living and the not of everyone the morning brings, to light into the coffee and the ordinary grace of breathing without knowing there is fire in the place. The hero is a concept that the world needs to survive. It makes the terror manageable, it makes the loss less live. Inside the chest of everyone who watched and could not go, inside the ones who needed something larger than their own capacity to handle what the chaos always brings, the randomness of burning and the randomness of fights. Going wrong in ordinary moments, without warning, without sign. The hero is the human who stood up beside the line and crossed it into something that the rest of us could not, and paid the price in silence for the everything they got. He walked out of the burning building into something new, a world that needed heroes but had not the slightest clue what heroes cost in private, in the dark behind the name, in all the countless hours of the unremarkable and plain, and brutal reckoning with what the chaos leaves behind, when all the cameras go away and all you have is mine, and the memory of the fire and the sound of the collapse.
Before Before the city claimed me with its concrete and its noise, before the marketplace replaced my childhood forest voice, I lived among the ancient trees that knew me by my breath, the green cathedral breathing life on every side of death. The roots ran deep beneath my feet like veins of elder blood. The canopy above me was the only understood religion that I needed every morning to rise. The light through leaves, a liturgy of opening eyes. But then they came with papers, maps, and measurements and plans. They drew the lines of ownership on unconsenting lands. They said the forest was a resource standing to be used, a profit in the timber by the properly enthused investor class who never placed a bare foot on the ground, who never heard the language in the pre-dawn forest sound of birds communicating in the centuries-long tongue of trees that speak in chemistry to every old and young. I watched them take the first one with a sound I can't forget, a sound that sits inside my chest, reminding me that yet the forests fall in silence to the ears of those in charge, while those who love them grieve at the inadequate large destruction of the thing that gave them breath and gave them soul. I will not be a quiet witness watching this unfold into catastrophe while I remain composed and cold. I will be the voice that sings for what the system sold, for every acre cleared, for every watershed destroyed, for every species silenced, and for every green deployed as backdrop for the photograph of what we used to have. I will sing the operatic sorrow and the rage of every ancient forest that has burned beneath the age of appetite without a conscience, progress without soul, of everything extracted in the name of making whole the profit margins of the ones who own the maps. I climb upon the stump of what was cut and close the gaps between the beautiful soprano notes of what once lived here and the heavy rock guitar of what we need to fear. We're losing something fundamental every single day, not just the trees, the oxygen, but something else away. A relationship with wildness that our nervous systems need, a recognition that we are not separate from the seed of everything that grows and breathes and moves beneath the sun, that we are not the owners, we are simply one among the millions of the species sharing this brief floor of existence on a planet we did not ask for, but were given and entrusted with and have so far betrayed, with such spectacular ingenuity displayed in the service of the short term, in the service of the now, in the forgetting of the ancient and the permanent, and how the forest teaches patience, teaches cycles, teaches death, not as an ending, but a transformation and a breath taken by the universe between one form and next. The rock guitars rise high above the operatic text of everything the forest was and everything it gave. The oxygen, the medicine, the canopy, the name of the only church I recognize, the only sacred space where I have ever truly seen the universal face of something larger than my understanding or my name. Something that was here before the claiming and the claim. I want to run back in and feel the dew on ancient bark, I wanna navigate by root and star through primordial dark. I wanna hear the mycorrhizal network underneath the conversation of 10,000 trees beyond my reach of language, but within the reach of something that I know without the words for knowing in the cellular below, the thinking and the speaking in the marrow and the bone, the part of me that recognizes it has always known this forest is the freedom that no system can provide, the wildness in the chest that has nowhere else to hide, when everything is paved, when everything is sold, when every ancient story is a property controlled, the forest in the memory, the forest in the blood, reminds us of the person that we were before the flood of civilization covered us from scalp to soul and told us that the wild was something other than our soul. The soprano holds the final note above the crashing band, the orchestra of broken string and voice and reprimand of everything that separates the human from the tree, dissolves into the fundamental fact of being free. Not free from something, free towards something. Freeing sight the standing of the ancient living ring of roots and canopy and bark and breeding and the whole. Magnificent, impossible, and ordinary soul of a forest that was here before us and will outlast us. Before the city claimed me with its concrete and its noise, before the marketplace replaced my childhood forest voice, I lived among the ancient trees that knew me by my breath, the green cathedral breathing life on every side of death. The roots ran deep beneath my feet like veins of elder blood. The canopy above me was the only understood religion that I needed every morning to arise. The light through leaves a liturgy of opening eyes. But then they came with papers, maps, and measurements and plans. They drew the lines of ownership on unconsenting lands. They said the forest was a resource standing to be used, a profit in the timber by the properly enthused investor class who never placed a bare foot on the ground, who never heard the language in the pre-dawn forest sound of birds communicating in the centuries-long tongue of trees that speak in chemistry to every old and young. I watch them take the first one with a sound I can't forget, a sound that sits inside my chest, reminding me that yet the forests fall in silence to the ears of those in charge, while those who love them grieve at the inadequate large. Destruction of the thing that gave them breath and gave them soul. I will not be a quiet witness watching this unfold into catastrophe while I remain composed and cold. I will be the voice that sings for what the system sold. For every acre cleared, for every watershed destroyed, for every species silenced, and for every green deployed as backdrop for the photograph of what we used to have, I will sing the operatic sorrow and the rage of every ancient forest that has burned beneath the age of appetite without a conscience, progress without soul, of everything extracted in the name of making whole. The prophet imagines of the ones who own the maps. I climb upon the stump of what was cut and close the gaps between the beautiful soprano notes of what once lived here and the heavy rock guitar of what we need to fear. We're losing something fundamental every single day. Not just the trees, the oxygen, but something else away. A relationship with wildness that our nervous systems need. A recognition that we are not separate from the seed of everything that grows and breathes and moves beneath the sun. That we are not the owners, we are simply one among the millions of the species sharing this brief floor of existence on a planet we did not ask for, but were given and entrusted with, and have so far betrayed. With such spectacular ingenuity displayed in the service of the short term, in the service of the now, in the forgetting of the ancient and the permanent, and how the forest teaches patience, teaches cycles, teaches death, not as an ending but a transformation and a breath taken by the universe between one form and next. The rock guitars rise high above the operatic text of everything the forest was and everything it gave. The oxygen, the medicine, the canopy, the nave of the only church I recognize, the only sacred space where I have ever truly seen the universal face of something larger than my understanding or my name. Something that was here before the claiming and the claim. I want to run back in and feel the dew on ancient bark. I want to navigate by root and star through primordial dark. I want to hear the microhyzal network underneath. The conversation of 10,000 trees beyond my reach, of language but within the reach of something that I know, without the words for knowing in the cellular below, the thinking and the speaking in the marrow and the wisdom can provide. The lioness in the chest that has nowhere else to hide. When everything is paved, when everything is sold, when every ancient story is a property controlled, the forest in the memory, the forest in your blood.